All right, what's up, everybody? It's Mathew Robbins, and I appreciate y'all coming in today. Let's go ahead and just kind of hop right into what I wanted to talk about today. In the summer of 2019, I just finished my freshman year of college. That summer was a very difficult summer for myself and for my family. We had a lot of financial and just personal hardships that we went through, and so I was looking for a job. I was really hard pressed trying to find one, like no one was hiring. Anyway, I ended up getting hired at Sam's Club. I went to college in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and those Oklahoma summers are hot. So I was out there baking in the sun, just pushing these cars full of sweat, got these disgusting looking no-slip shoes on. Like it's really not a vibe. And so I remember my mindset and my perspective was very, woe is me, very bitter, very, I have to show up. And I'm not saying this is right. Honestly, it's pretty prideful, but I was just like, man, I'm better than this. Like, I'm better than just working at Sam's Club and stocking shelves and pushing carts. And if you work at a retail store or anything like that, I'm not trying to throw any shade, because I'm trying to tell you, I had to work there in college and I had to work at a retail store in high school. So there's no shame. There's nothing wrong with that. I just know at the time my perspective was very small, but I continually had this mindset of like, man, this is beneath me. And there was one day in particular, I'll remember this. I'll never forget this day. I was doing a return, they were just like, hey, we got a bunch of extra stuff over here that someone didn't get. Can you run that back to the aisles? Grab the cart and I'm pushing it. And so as I'm pushing my cart, I'm just like super bitter, you know what I'm saying? Just woe is me, just And I can't remember if I was like having a conversation with God and I was bitter, or just in my mind, maybe both. And I'm coming around the aisle. I think it was like the sunscreen aisle, or like just, I don't know, something like that. I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit. I don't know if it was God. I just felt this thought just get like, doop, just like dropped in my mind of like, okay, I get you feel that way, but what have you actually done to make those things happen? At that moment, I sat back, I said, it just completely caught me off guard, and it really made me come to a full stop. And just like, I could feel like the conviction in my heart of like, oh my gosh. I say all that to say, I was doing a lot of complaining, but I wasn't actually doing anything to fix the situation, or I wasn't putting my creative ideas into motion. I was really just sitting on my hands and just being bitter. But it's one thing to continually like complain and continually point out everything that's wrong, and it's a completely other thing to actually put stuff into motion. And so really the idea is quite simple that I wanted to communicate today, is that if you've been giving a gifting, if you've been giving a skill set and a talent, but you're not capitalizing on it, and you're not working hard and you're not putting stuff into motion, don't expect like opportunities to come. It's just simple stuff like that. And I think a lot of times we'll have this entitlement that we are, expected to have something or receive some type of opportunity, when in reality we've done nothing to actually like earn that opportunity, or to show that we are capable of being responsible enough to handle it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was looking at the Bible like, okay, I know, we could do, you reap what you sow, but I'm like, there just has to be a really simple answer for this. And I found one in Proverbs. So I got my Bible right here. Let's open up to Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty. I think that speaks for itself, Again, and I think the emphasis is on hard work. Like 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, like, whatever you do, do it for the glory of the Lord. If we're doing stuff for the glory of the Lord, then we better be giving our all. We better be giving a certain level of excellence, not to show that we are something, but rather to exemplify the Creator. And so if he's giving you a skill set and he's giving you a talent, don't just sit around talking either to other people or in your mind, oh, they only knew, and I want to be careful to not make this seem like it's a self-centered venture of like, I want my dreams and my passions to happen. But I think part of being faithful every day comes from the idea that God's entrusted us with certain gifts, talents, skills, with certain knowledge, with certain education, and he wants to use that in a way that we're able to help just, he wants to redeem the world. And so I think part of the way he does that is through our work and through our passions and through our gifts and through our talents. He wants to utilize, all parts, whether that's what we do or who we are as people. And so if God's given you, a mandate or something that he's placed in your heart to do, of course, pray about it, seek wise counsel, but then like actually step out in faith and see where the Lord meets you in that. And I don't think in that season of time, I really understood that. I think I was very much more comfortable sitting around and just making comments and sitting around and expecting things to come to me and being very entitled in my mind, when in reality, I was way too scared to put in the work. And I don't want that for y'all. I don't want that for someone who maybe feels that fear or feels that anxiety of like, oh man, I want to step out and try something, but I'm afraid to. Man, just trust the Lord. Just trust the Lord. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. Just make sure that you are putting forth the work. You're not just merely talking, but you're actually putting forth the hard work to see the dividends pay off. And most of all, to do it for the glory of God, to do it for the kingdom. And so don't be afraid to do that, but also don't avoid that. Like, dive into that. And so you'll be able to not sit around wondering what if or complaining. And I want to encourage y'all to just stay fed, stay blessed, and, just serve wherever God's placed you at. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you later. Peace.